What's up, Boulder, Colorado?
Idea. When I post, it's what God gives me. It's not for you or you or you. It's not like that. It's just something that comes up in my spirit that I've been doing this for during the 30 years.
Today, we've got several great news stories for you, so we're going to make like competitive squirrels in a nut gathering contest. Our main story today is about Coach Prime in Colorado being epically disrespected. For those who missed it, some news dropped recently that sent us and most Colorado fans into a complete tizzy. Plus, we're going to talk about Coach Prime seeking the public's help with a contest and some other great stories. So grab you a bag of Doritos, sit back, and get ready because this is the prime time for college football. Our first story today, we're going to talk about Colorado football being disrespected. Now, recently, Vegas released that the current over-under has been set at 6 regular season wins. On the bright side, this means that Vegas expects Colorado to go 6-6 and make a bowl game. But let's be realistic here. Vegas is way off in this prediction. Let's run through a couple of reasons why. Number one, Colorado has completely rebuilt its offensive line this season. We've talked about that on our last 4 videos, and I really don't get tired of talking about it because of how important it truly is to Colorado's success this season. You guys know how good those offensive skill weapons are. You know how good Deion Sanders was last year. You know about Travis and Xavier and other guys, Jimmy Horn Jr., that were on this team that were really, really good. The problem was we didn't have enough time to get them the ball. So we won't dive into the exact entire list of all the offensive linemen again, but that's a huge reason that we expect there to be a lot more success this year. With a competent offensive line this year, we probably win 7 or 8 games. The defense also got much, much better as the year went on. I think that's going to be another strong point for the Buffs in 2024. Number 3, this is no shot at who we will play. I think the competition that we're going to play takes a massive step back in 2024 as well. You're not playing against a bunch of guys who are competing for the Heisman and competing for the playoff and won a Heisman last year. You're playing the Big 12 and not the Pac-12, which was really, really good in its last year of existence. Now, again, not only the offensive line, not only the defense continuing to get better, not only the step back that you may see in the competition, but you still return an All-American in Travis Hunter, and you return a guy who is probably going to be in the Heisman conversation and consideration next year in Deion Sanders. And there's a ton of talent on this team that Coach Prime continues to pull in. The defense is only going to continue to get better. And would it shock you if the offense took another massive step with some of the offensive line additions? Not at all. What are your thoughts about Vegas's prediction? What do you think about them saying that Colorado's only going to win 6 games? If you had to put money on it today, how many games would you think that Colorado wins? Let's talk about that down below in the comments. Now, next, we're going to talk about Coach Prime asking for the public's help with a contest. Recently on Instagram, Coach Prime posted that there's a new lake going in. What should he name it? He said, I already have Lake Prime and Lake Time. Help me, and please keep it clean and kind. Now, how cool would it be if one of you guys out there came up with the name for Coach Prime's new lake? What do you guys think would work? Do you like Buffalo Lagoon? Do you like Sanders Paradise? Listen, get down in the comments below. Let's talk about this a little bit. I want to see who has the most creative one, but don't just comment here. Go to Coach Prime's Instagram and post it there. I can't guarantee you that he doesn't check these comments, but I know that these comments are not part of the contest. So go to get on his Instagram and comment your favorite one. If you end up winning, let me know. Maybe you can come on and host a show or something with me one day. So go and enter that right now. Listen, I'm going to get to our next story in just a moment, but do me a quick favor. If you're enjoying the off-season content that we're doing, if you're enjoying what we try to put out almost on a daily basis, we've taking a little bit of time around the holiday to enjoy some time with family. But if you enjoy what we're doing, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We've got tens and tens of thousands of you that watch this daily, and we so very much appreciate that. But the best, we don't ask you to do anything. We don't ask you to buy anything. We don't ask you to give us any money. The best way that you can support is just by hitting that subscribe button. It helps the channel out tremendously. It helps us really grow. It helps YouTube recommend what we're doing a little bit more. And so if you would do us that favor, we certainly would appreciate it. That's all I want for Christmas. I've got my 2 front teeth. I don't need any money. You don't have to send me anything. I do like those Christmas tree cakes, those zebra cakes, if somebody does want to send me those. But outside of that, if you'll just hit that subscribe button, we certainly would appreciate it. Okay, lastly today, we're going to talk about Colorado landing another great offensive line transfer. Now, recently, Indiana's Matthew Bedford announced that he was joining the army of other linemen that are coming to Colorado. Bedford is a 6'6", 305-pound lineman, and he's got 1 year of eligibility remaining. I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to put a pin in that, but remember that 1 year of eligibility left. At Indiana, Bedford started 38 of his 41 games that he played in, and he has experience basically everywhere on the line. Sort of a Swiss Army knife, if you will. All over the line, he has really good experience. He started 11 times at left guard. He started 10 times at right guard. He started 9 times at right tackle and 8 times at left tackle. He was voted Indiana's Offensive Newcomer of the Year in 2019, and he earned all Big Ten honorable mention in 2021. It's a massive pickup for Coach Prime and the Buffs as they continue to throw numbers at the problem there on the offensive line. I want to talk about that comment that I made just a moment ago, that it's his last year of eligibility that he has remaining. We all know that the Big Ten develops offensive linemen really, really well, and this is a kid who played in 40-plus games for Indiana. Now, Indiana is not necessarily a powerhouse. They certainly have not been elite by any stretch of the imagination, but you've got a kid who has a ton of experience, and he's in his final year of eligibility. And what does that mean? Well, a couple of things. One, I'm really, really excited to see what he brings from a leadership perspective to this roster. I know that you've got some upperclassmen, you've got some guys who have played a few years at varying and differing levels, but you're bringing in a guy who has been in the Power 5, the Big Ten, right? There's almost like a Big 2 now in college football between the Big Ten and the SEC. You're bringing in a guy with that much experience, and that can only help your line. You're also bringing in a guy who knows that this is his last shot. This is a last shot to possibly make the NFL one day. If he doesn't make the NFL, these are going to be his last days playing football. This is a guy who should, for all intent and purposes, absolutely lay it all on the line every single week for you. It's a guy who will go out and make a difference, and that's what you need. You also love his versatility. You love that he started all over the place on the line. If there's an injury, if you have somebody go down, he can very easily step in just about anywhere and continue on so there's not a massive drop-off. I think that those 2-3 things could be huge for him this year, could be huge for Coach Prime this year. Now, with all of these offensive line pickups, I do think that you're going to have to take some time for these guys to gel together. I don't think it's just like sometimes a running back. You can just plug in and play. Hey, hit that hole and run as fast as you can, right? I don't think the offensive line is like that. It takes a little time to get guys to gel. It takes a little time for them to work together as one cohesive unit. It's a little different than just a plug-and-play position like some other places are. But fortunately, they will have the entire offseason together. They will have the entire spring together. They will have all of the summer in workouts and different things together. And then obviously they'll have fall camp together as well. And that's big. That's huge for not only the offensive line, but for this team. Coach Prime understands that you've got to throw numbers at the problem to hopefully have it rectify itself. Most offensive linemen hit at a rate of about 50%. Now, that might go up a little bit when you're in the transfer portal because you're bringing in guys who have experience playing elsewhere. So you're not wondering if their bodies are going to develop the right way, if they're going to form into the right player that you wanted. But out of the high school ranks, most offensive linemen just hit at about 50%. Some don't develop the right way. Some don't take the body type or shape that you thought they were going to get to, and they never end up playing. A little higher, again, with the portal, but you still have to throw numbers at it. You still have to over-recruit the position. Injuries are terrible at the offensive line. You've got guys that are getting hit every single play. A wide receiver doesn't necessarily get hit every play. A cornerback doesn't necessarily get hit every play. But the offensive line goes head-to-head with big defenders every single play. And so injuries are part of it. You got to see how the team gels together, how the offensive line fits together and gels together. And so I like Coach Prime's approach. He knows that this is the biggest area, the biggest weakness on the team, and he's doing everything he can to make sure that he gets it fixed. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you listening. Hopefully, you guys are in the holiday spirit. We're getting really close, just about 11 days away from Christmas. We've got something exciting planned. We got a lot of exciting things planned for the rest of the month. So make sure that you're locked in with us. I appreciate you guys for watching. We're less than a week away from signing day. That's going to be fun. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching the prime time for college football.